I'm Joe Irwin. I'm just an ad guy from Greenville, and I'm finishing up my second term as chairman of the state party.
What do Democrats have to do to win in South Carolina?
Well, you know, we got to start rebuilding at the grassroots. I started talking about that 4 years ago, and you've got to create excitement to do that. You don't do that by boring people to death, and I think what we've done by creating that primary in 2004, by getting the primary 2 years of work to beat out 11 states for 2008, putting a debate at South Carolina State when people would have never expected that, creates excitement. But, you know, Phil, excitement alone isn't going to get us there. Right. Everybody's got to step up at every level, and I mean precinct by precinct, and say, I'm a Democrat, if they are Democrats, and get involved and engaged. And then those people that are not ours as partisans, we need to reach out to them. And I think the tone needs to be friendly. We need to talk about the positive things that we represent as Democrats, education and health care, you know, those issues where we're right. And most people believe that. But if we do it in a vitriolic way or mean-spirited way, I agree with Mark Warner. I think, you know, most people, like my wife who's an independent, are tired of seeing Republicans and Democrats poke each other in the eye. Right. So if we can, you know, raise the level of the debate and be friendly doing it, yeah. I think that starts the beginning of how we can change South Carolina, and I think that's underway.
Well, what's the most important issue in South Carolina that Democrats ought to be working on?
Well, God, there's so many, but education has to be number one. You know, I'm from Greenville, and I feel blessed and lucky to live in a place where they can have $1 billion school building fund to tear down schools like my old high school, Eastside High School, that was built just 30 years ago. Pretty nice building still, and they're building this incredible campus. And then we go into places like Kingstree and the infamous Corridor of Shame, and they're in buildings that are like 100 years old, that have, you know, toilets that don't work, water fountains that are falling off the wall. You know, and it's not just about the physical plants, but, you know, we ought to, as a state, recognize that that is totally unacceptable. And for any of our elected officials, Democrats or Republicans, to tolerate that, or any of us that are standing on the sidelines just as citizens, for us not to have a call to arms to fix that is something that saddens me, frankly. And it's something when I'm done as chairman, I hope to work on a little bit, maybe in a nonpartisan way.
And what are you proudest of about South Carolina, other than Clemson, outside of politics?
You know what? Our diversity. I got to see that firsthand at South Carolina State at the debate on April 26th. Phil, it amazed me to be down there. I've been down there a lot over the last 3 months for the build-up. It was an incredible work program. And after being there as much as I was on that campus, by the time we had the debate, and this, you know, as white guys, you know, we don't often feel like, you know, a minority. But, you know, the first few times I was down at State, you know, you feel like a minority. You know, you kind of stand out in the crowd. Well, by the time I left there, though, they're treating me like one of their own. I've got my pin on today to prove it. And what really hit me was something I've never quite felt before. And you've got a lot of friends who are African American and, you know, Hispanic probably. I mean, our state's changing in a lot of ways. But I left there Thursday night and thinking that as I looked at that campus, I didn't see black faces or white faces. I just saw South Carolinians who were so excited about where we stand now in presidential politics, and that we got a chance to use that, hopefully, use that in a way that, you know, what you're trying to do with the DLC, what other people are trying to do. Let's take advantage of what we've worked so darn hard to get and be really inclusive, and maybe we can make some good changes happen.